All right, we've made it to day 4 of 5 days to full body. We are going to be doing the upper legs. I'll get up here on the table in just a second, but I do want to tell you that on the days that I do the upper leg segment, I consider that from knee to hip joint. Okay, and that includes when I do my glute and pelvic floor blasting. The best way I could describe it to you is if a pair of thong panties touches it, you can blast it. It's all external. It's really good, especially for women who have had children. I mean, just think about all the fascia and issues that happen as the baby passes through the birth canal. Thing like baggage shifts during flight, okay? So you can take a small tool like a face blaster or a pro blaster in the shower with a sensitive, safe wash. You're just going to move over triangle area. And when I do my glutes, I hold the small handheld tools. I do the whole thing. When I'm in the shower or something like that, I will prop my foot up and I will carve underneath, creating kind of the arcing motion up and down. I do tip the tool and try to get onto my tailbone and then up and down here. What I imagine is I think about the nice like heart shape that I want, and I use the tools to carve that out. Obviously, this is a PG-13 doodle language show, so I'm not going to show you any more than that. But if you're part of my private women's group, there is a more detailed video on how to do that pelvic floor and glute blasting routine that I follow. So I'm going to get oiled up here. I'm primarily today going to use brush and blast base. I use this one a lot, especially for my shorter timed blast because it's faster. I can get a lot more blood flow a lot quicker and saves the time in my day. All right, leg is all oiled up. Brush and blast base. You're moving linear, so you can go diagonal. This is really good right here to get that like fatty lump that likes to hang out on the inside of the knee. I do try to kind of prop my foot, open my leg here so that I can get good blast on my inner thighs. When I first started, my inner thighs were very tender, so this was one that I had to do often. And then same thing, I'm going to kind of roll outwards here. Get that saddlebag up and down, side to side. This is another one of those parts where you can do this standing, lying down, seated, whatever makes the most sense and feels right to you. I like to do my leg blasts post leg day if I can make the schedule work because it helps me to not feel so sore. Now I'm going to put the tool under, kind of lean up here, it's a little more access to my hamstring. Back and forth and side to side. And this is one of those ones that if you have the room and you're short on time, you can oil up both legs and blast both quads and both hamstrings at the same time. Now I'm gonna just kind of stand and give you a slightly different vantage point here. We're just gonna prop a leg up. My most stubborn spots on the back of my legs are right here, where the glute and the hamstring connect. So I try to lean forward a little bit, really stretch it out. Again, I'm imagining kind of making that heart shape at the bottom of the glute. Back and forth and side to side. This is great if you have tight IT bands. Always feels really good. See that nice blood flow. All right, and lately I do not use large claw on my legs because I have so many like deep stubborn adhesions. I go straight to the Pro Nugget after I have warmed the tissue up for a few minutes with the small claw. Use whatever you have. If you have large claw, go to that. If you have only small claw, it is better than nothing. Just wait for the next big sale and grab either the Pro Nugget or a large claw tool just so you can start working a little deeper. Just doing a quick tap with the Pro Nugget. I had a few tender spots, most likely from my workouts this week. So we're just basically saying, hey leg, you're about to get some deeper work done. Hope you're ready. And then again, this is a deeper technique, but I blast with the Pro Nugget. Yes, this will make me look like a leopard tomorrow, but blasting bruises are not like an injury bruise. They heal up much faster. They go from present to yellow, on me at least, within a day or two. I'm very good about icing and ensuring I help speed the healing through dry brushing arnica and taking my collagen. Since I started adding in the liquid biocell a year ago, I see a much better and much faster tissue remodeling. So like what used to be deep banana roll lines on the back of my leg is now a few little tiny close lines. I'm just blasting all the way around with the Pro Nugget, getting up into the hip, along the inner thigh. Flexing my foot and just really trying to get into that hamstring glute tie-in area. I do use the Pro Nugget on my glute as well. Occasionally I find really deep like knots in there and I'll do a poke and wiggle on it. Same with my outer thighs that were always kind of a hard, lumpy mass of stuck fat. Just applying some pressure around. After you use the Pro Nugget, you just want to make sure you don't finish with the Pro Nugget. Take the small claw tool again and do another quick pass over, because once we do all this deep work, you want to do like another layer of surface smoothing just to kind of coax it all as smooth as possible. I gave you the sheet analogy not long ago. This is now we got the sheet put on the bed and the big wrinkles pulled out. Now we're just doing a smoothing layer. Another tip when you do your legs, alternate which leg you start with each week. So this week, my left leg that I just did got nice fresh arms, maximum, power in my blasting. And as my arms start getting a little tired, the right leg is not quite going to get the exact same treatment this week. So next week, I will start with my right leg. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Oil it up. Now we're currently about to enter shorts season. So I primarily do my deep work all winter long because it doesn't matter if I have any bruising because I'm wearing primarily pants and sweaters and things like that. So I tend to focus on a lot of deep work in the winter months. As we enter short season, if you are worried about any visible bruising, it doesn't really bother me. So I'll still do some work, but I do dial it back a little bit just for preference because I prefer not to have all of my summer pictures have lasting bruises in it. So I will lessen the pressure. I will stick to only small claw tools and I will just keep it a little bit lighter, a little more surface to maintain the routine all summer without losing it. Ooh, there's a tender spot right next to my knee. We'll give that a little attention here. Inner thigh. Best thing ever for getting rid of that little knee fatty spot. A few years ago, I fell on this side on concrete and I had a big old mass of an adhesion right there. So we're breaking through it, but that's why you can see that like distortion right there. That's pretty much exactly where I fell on the garage floor. It's highly unpleasant. All right, now we're going to go back to standing on the other side. And the same thing. Diagonal, side to side, up and down. After this, I will go get in my cold plunge, but when the weather is not good, and for many, many years before, all I had was cryo packs. So I would just go take the Velcro ones, wrap them around my most stubborn spots, which was usually the saddlebag area, and ice after my blast. When it comes to the cold therapy, you do not have to have blasted that day to do it. Feel free to strap cryo packs on anytime that the mood strikes. This outer thigh is a little tender today. Here we go. Whew. Now again, taking the Pro Nugget, we're gonna tap, let my body know what's about to happen. Hey leg, you're about to have some deeper work. Hope you're ready. All right. and then blast it. I usually form a diamond or an arc out, please. Thank you. Kids these days. Around my knee. I do blast my actual knee on lower leg day, so we will do that one next. I can see some of the little lines and fascia distortions while I stand like this, so I try to go with the line and then directly against the line. If I ever see a deep line or dent, I will take one nugget point and just kind of pluck upwards, trying to lift or pull that dent out. Imagine it like cross stitch, right? You can see all the stitches, and if you see one that looks wrong, you can kind of lift it out if it's pulled too tight and pulling everything else out of order. Just kind of rocking back and forth because it feels different on different spots. Glute hammy tie-in. Spot right there is a little tender, right the base of the IT band. Now we're just going to kind of press and hold. I am applying quite a bit of pressure. Sometimes I'll give it a little wiggle. I can guide you and give you things to kind of look out for, but a lot of blasting is intuitive, and you will start to notice things as you listen to your body. You'll kind of hear what it's asking for. And then that makes your blasts easier. And you can customize it to yourself. But I don't know about you. I mean, I already feel better sticking to this routine so far and recommitting to doing my entire body over the course of 5 days. So our fascia is one whole piece. It covers us head to toe. If we only work our trouble spots, we're just doing ourselves a disservice because there's usually adhesions hidden elsewhere and in the nooks and crannies. And once you get those hidden adhesions to let go, you'll see better results on your actual problem areas. All right, back to the small claw, smoothing it back out. If you have additional tools at home, you can always do some cupping and add that in. As I've said before, I like to keep mine in the shower and do it when I'm lathered. To me, it's just easier and it's a simpler way to add it into something I'm already doing anyway. If you have a dry brush, do that daily, whether you blast or not. That is just fantastic for your body's lymph flow and natural detox system. And it's easy, helps keep that dry skin away. It takes about 2 minutes to do the whole body, so definitely prioritize that. All right. Both of the upper legs are done. Now I'll take a minute, just kind of flush, rub it all around, brought all that blood flow to the surface. Now we just got to get it moving back out and on its way. And then I'll get some of my collagen foam rubbed in there, apply that topically, and I'm definitely going to strap an ice pack on this saddlebag because this one was tender when I was working in there, so it's probably going to bruise up a bit tomorrow. All right, next up, low legs and feet.